Welcome to part 28 of Narrow Gate. This is September the 17th, 2024, by man's calendar. And yes, I have to follow the Spirit. I just have to talk to you. You know, back in the day when Jesus walked, that's what he did. He just talked to the crowds, him and the disciples. Sometimes the Spirit hits me and it takes over and it just goes and it rebukes and it rebuts things that needs to be rebuked and rebutted and put a stop to. My heart is still broken about the rebuke I had to give the other day, because to think that in today's time, and us with the word right here with us, that which is God, that we would be living in sin right in front of him. We carry God in our arms when we carry this word, and yet we will sin in him right there. What the world? What the world? What is that? For real. You're looking to rule and reign with Jesus in a millennial kingdom, and he's God and he's the Word made flesh, but he's the Word, and you carry him around. How do you know you haven't been with him for 1,000 years yet? How do you know mankind has not been living the 1,000-year reign already, and they've been dying in their sin because they refuse to come out of it? Now, I'm not saying we are in that. I'm just asking a question. I'm posing a question to get you thinking about what you're doing. Jesus sees you every day. He doesn't have to be standing right before you in a corporeal body in order to see you. And apparently it doesn't bother you that he sees you in these lies and hears you lie to people, or that he sees you out here committing fornication and teaching others to do so. Apparently it doesn't bother you that he sees you living in adultery and lusting after other people, and or lusting after things, idol gods, and worshiping mankind through worshiping these actors and these singers and these race car drivers or these sports pit personnels that you worship. Oh, here's a name, Tom Brady. Yeah, I was a big fan of football, and that was a big name in football, and I couldn't stand how people worshipped him. And it never even dawned on me while I was in that, though, that was idol worship. But it just irritated me how people would act about that man. And I thought, why? Because he can catch a football? No, he fumbles it 9 times out of 10. Why are people worshiping this one particular man? And I kept saying, Lord, I don't see it. I kept asking Jesus to help open my eyes if I was missing something. I wasn't missing a thing. I was seeing the truth. Everybody else was under the delusion. They were under the delusion that man could actually play football better than anybody else. They act like he was the team. No, you got your running backs, you got your tight ends, you got your defensive blockers. That man could have done nothing without the aid of his support team. Remember that, ministers. You can do nothing without the aid of your support team. Some of y'all getting kind of high and mighty, and you think you running around you twos and fro's, and you going from church to church doing a great job as an evangelist. Don't get too high and mighty on that. God will put a thorn in your flesh. Don't think you don't need the help of your support team, which is your brothers and your sisters. Don't be thinking you higher than any other minister that God is using in your band of Merry Misfits. Though I love my band of Merry Misfits and I am grateful for my pastors, every one of them, do not let yourselves be exalted. I don't want to lose any of you. But I know that God will send you into the field to eat like the ass and the oxen if you exalt yourselves. Don't get too highfalutin in what you're doing. You ain't no higher than nobody else that is in the group with you that God has chosen. Now, each and every one of you are needed for a particular task. Be studying your word and keep yourself humble. Don't exalt yourselves. But know each other well enough to know whether somebody in the group has a yep, I'm gonna call it, because we are only as strong as our weakest link, and we're just like any football team. You need your blockers and your defenders, ministers. You may be the quarterback, but you are not going to carry that pigskin down the field and score for us if you don't have the rest of your team. You need your prayer warriors. You need your spiritual defensive blocks. You need your tight ends to keep the ends tied up. Even in the churches today, Satan has a seat. And he's right there trying to cause havoc. And he maketh himself to look like an angel of light. Now, how can we tell the difference when he's making himself to look like an angel of light to avoid falling in with him? Well, it's simple. Know them by their fruit, like the word says. If they are living the word of God, are they speaking in tongues? Are they casting out devils? Are they trusting fully in Jesus? Are they still tossed and driven by every women doctrine? Because there's only one doctrine, and that is the apostles' doctrine. And I'm talking about not just knowing the men. You got to know this in the women too. Because believe it or not, they part of your helps. And in these last days, they will be prophesying. So you better get used to that. It's going to happen. It's got to happen. The word has to be fulfilled in order for the Lord to come. So, you need to put away your little bags that you got that's full of all this junk saying why women can't do this, this, and this. Now, I'm not telling you to give them no deacon's license and no ministry license. I'm telling you, they are your helps. And when God speaks through them, you need to stay out of the way. He's using them for a purpose. The weak confound the mighty, and women are the weaker vessel. You cannot fulfill that part, gentlemen. You need to let God be God and do as He is doing. He knows what He's doing. It's His plan, after all. So you let Him be God and you let Him do what He is doing, because He has set us each in the body as He serves Him and His purpose. Now, if He can take a weak thing like me and make me bold and make me to stand on His word, certainly, if your hearts are pure and your hearts are with Him and you have a desire to serve Him, certainly He can take you and make you mighty. You cannot be a king and a ruler for Him if you're exalting yourself, though, and becoming too high and mighty. thinking you're doing it all. You're doing it all. You're carrying the team. No, Tom Brady, you ain't carrying the team. The rest of us is in on this too. And you need everybody, even your water boy and your towel boy. Or girls. Whatever the case may be. You still need your other personnel. They're still part of the body. It don't matter if they hang nail off the big toe. God has a reason for them. And you're no more important than that hangnail. So don't be exalting yourself. Don't act like you're above speaking to them. Don't think that everybody comes to speak to you, gentlemen, has some kind of feelings for you. In that respect that they're lusting after you. There is not a lustful bone in my body. If I come to speak to you, I think of you just as another person. Don't be gross. Don't make me sick. That's called crucifying the passions and the lusts of this flesh. I have never lusted after none of you, and I ain't gonna. Because the Lord ain't gonna allow it. Thank you, Jesus. I've always had this thing where I just saw people as my equal. And when I come to you and talk to you, it's just as my equal. It's not as because I'm attracted to you or nothing like that. It's because God sent me. And when I tell you I come on behalf of the King, I mean it. Because I sure ain't going to come to you unless he sends me. Because truth is, I don't want to talk to people that just want to be out here minding their own and not doing nothing for the Lord. It irritates me. But if he sends me to Nineveh, I'm going to go to Nineveh because I ain't going in no well. I've spent enough time in hell as it is. I sure don't want to be in no well to go with it. Look around at the darkness. You see it? If you don't, you blind. Go your way, devil, because you're under delusion and the Lord's letting you be. So go on. Just ignore me and go on. I ain't here. You don't notice me. Keep going. But if you're hearing my voice, it's because God allows you to. If you're understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth, it's because God is opening your eyes to his truth, not mine. I didn't write this book. Don't be trying to give me his glory. I don't want it. I don't want no glory. I just want to sit at the Master's feet. But I want people to know him while I am here. Whatever time I have left, I want to tear down the altars of Baal. I want to tear down the kingdom of hell. I want to help build up the tabernacles of God. And the only way to do that is to cast out sin and cast out devils. But I don't want to do anything in myself and of myself. It's all for the Lord. Because all I want is a little cabin in the corner of Glory Land. I don't want no big mansion. I don't want nothing fancy. That's not who I am. I just want to be with Jesus. Even if I have to sleep outside on a rock like he did. I just want to be with Jesus. I'll see you in the next part. And I do promise to get back into this Matthew 13:33. Start Matthew 13:33. Hopefully the next part. See you there. Get your books ready. And why I say get your books ready, I'm not no world-renowned teacher. I'm not no minister of the gospel. I'm just doing what the Lord tells me, and I'm reading, and I want you to read along with me. We just reading the Word together. We are reasoning together. See you there.